So, how do we select our respondents for the focus groups? Well, that should be done through a purposive sample. As the collection process is qualitative, and most qualitative samples are purposive. Again, go back to those course resources, check out that chapter I provided to you about sampling. This purposive sample will maximize the thickness and the richness of the data collected. That's why we use a purposive sample. And further, it allows the researcher to be persistent in his or her observations while the group engages with one another based on the facilitation of the research. So when facilitating the focus groups, the following protocol should be used. Make the respondents feel comfortable. Maybe you want to get some drinks. Maybe you want to get some food. It's hard to be angry with you when you got food on the table. So make them feel comfortable in the situation. Then explain the overarching objective of the study. You don't want to give them too much, but you at least want to let them know what you're going to be talking about. Provide them with consent forms to ensure for ethical research and address confidentiality. If you're going to code these people, and you have to code these people, you need to have some type of confidential agreement that tells how you're going to code those people and then make it an ethical study. This is also going to be helpful when you submit IRB forms, which are the Institutional Review Board at the university. You probably don't have to do that in your time here, but if you're continuing to do research, especially on a university level, that's going to be critical in the future. It also helps to engage the group in broad questions without guiding the discussion. Questions should be based upon the research objective. So you have that overarching research objective and then things that stem from that, maybe sub-objectives. Those are going to guide your questions that you're going to ask. They should be broad, sweeping questions that provide a prompt for the conversation, but at the same time doesn't lead the discussion. And then you also have to observe not only what is being said, but the emotions and what is not being said. Sometimes that's more powerful in understanding the context than what's actually being said. So if you see someone struggling, address that. Say, tell me more about that. Why do you feel that way? You can probe a little deeper as long as it's not obtrusive to what's going on with the particular context. Researchers should feel free to ask for clarification and explore depth behind the responses. However, this should be as unintrusive to the integrity of the data collection process as possible. That's what I just said. It's really important to make sure that we're providing an unintrusive approach to collecting that data. Because although we're integrally involved in the data collection process, what we don't want to have happen is us to bias the data collection process. So now we're going to analyze the data. You analyze it via constant comparative analysis. Again, we're back to Glasser and Strauss, just like that grounded theory. The researcher will allow for themes to emerge naturalistically. We talked about that. The themes provide a snapshot of the context, which lead to a transferable, grounded theory for like context. Note the words that I use. I'm using very specific language. In quantitative research, we would say we want our results to be generalizable to a population. In qualitative research, we say that we want our findings to be transferable to like contexts. So there's transferability and generalizability based on the two different research paradigms. So what I want to do for you is I want to provide you with a real-world example. And so what we're going to do is we're going to address a study that I did with one of my research assistants. He's an absolutely fantastic guy, and he's got some great thoughts. He came to me one day, and he hit me with this idea, and I was like, wow, we got to do some research on it. And what we came up with was a paper that we've actually presented at conferences, and it's a naturalistic examination of millennial learning preferences, a priority for emotionally intelligent instruction, and it's exactly what we just did. We have focus groups, we have interviews, and we have emergent grounded theory. And so check that out. We go through these research objectives when we do the study. Good luck with that. So we're back. Hopefully you really enjoyed that interview. Chris was captivating. I know I was good. Just kidding. I don't want to get a big head here. But here's the thing. This is highly applicable, and it provides purely inductive idea of conceptual perspectives. What does that mean? We are contributing to the field. We are going from specific to theory building and having an epistemological effect on the field at which we work in. That is huge. And the only way we can do that effectively is by conducting solid research. You put these into practice, I guarantee you're going to have an amazing thesis, you're going to have an amazing research article in 680, and also you're going to have an amazing application for your organizations and the field of communication in general. So hopefully this has been very informative. I hope you've enjoyed track focus groups and grounded theory. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Bill, how was that from your perspective? Was that okay? Definitely. Remember that. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate working with you, and it was good to meet you. Okay, take care, Bill. I'm sure we'll be in touch. You ready to walk? Oh, I like it, though. Hey, Bill, I'm just going to leave the mic over here on the desk. I was going to take it home, but...